When a bunch of queer people that have never owned a truck before buy a big truck, we try to fix it when it breaks down in multiple ways. Here's our production manager team, Calvin Anderson and Katie McClellan, trying to figure out how to fix it with...
Duct tape it? Gaff tape it? I used some of our gaff tape. It's so helpful.
Do we have any extras?
A little rain on Drag Mother's Day didn't stop us. We just filled her up with gas this morning. We shined the hubcaps. We carried wrenches around as if we knew what to do with them. And we pulled up in this park, and we got a special little treat just for you, which is some behind-the-scenes footage from this amazing performance at Vernon Park. Hey, all you Beardmobile lovers, truck fans. It's me, John Jarboe. I'm here. I'm in Vernon Park right here. This is the Black Writers Museum, and I'm about to meet an amazing writer that I admire dearly, Yolanda Wisher. And I brought her this disco ball as a sign of appreciation. We'll see how she reacts to that. Yolanda! John! Hello! Oh!
Oh.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us here in Germantown.
It's my pleasure. Welcome.
We asked today's performers what they wanted to ask you directly. You sitting right there. And this is what they said.
A deep and profound question I find myself asking myself, and I like to ask certain loved ones to their comfortability, but why? Why in particular are you wearing underwear?
I want to ask, what have you learned about yourself during this pandemic?
What is one fear you have about getting old?
What is it that you can do in your own little world to help humanity?
Toe ring or nah?
Have you considered, is it because someone told you to? Is that what you want?
I'll tell you, it's the first thing that's on my mind because earlier it helped me to calm my nerves. And that was listening to Bob Marley. So this is the question. Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? Can you be loved and also be loved? Can you? Can you be loved? And then can you also be loved? That's my question.
And it's pretty simple. Look, I got 15 miles in my gas tank. Too much ash in my ashtray. What I'm gonna do? You know I'm gonna cruise. You know I'm gonna cruise. You know I'm gonna. And do I? 15 miles in my gas tank. Yeah, too much ash in my ashtray. What I'm gonna do? Hey, you know I'm gonna cruise. Okay. Hey, you know I'm gonna cruise like Tom. You know I came through all town.
Today's host is the incomparable Anthony Martinez-Briggs, otherwise known as Us. You wear many different hats as a poet. Can you talk me through all those different identities and like the different names we might hear you shout out for yourself or other people shout out for you?
Yeah.
Give me the prism.
The prism. Us, you know, Us is the stage name, and it also captures the mission and like what I hope to, you know, inspire in others. Like, inspiration begets inspiration. And first I was inspired, you know, by the work of August Wilson when I think about the theater space. You know, I'm an actor. Like hip hop, the poetry of hip hop, you know, but also like in school learning a little bit about like the beat poets, you know, like Allen Ginsberg. More importantly to me, like Gil Scott-Heron, you know, and Sonia Sanchez. Like I remember going to a Sonia Sanchez event here in Philly with who would then become my wife. It was our first time we held hands, was at a Sonia Sanchez event, like celebrating Sonia Sanchez.
Hey, yo, Brian, I can't believe you over here doing everything I'm rhyming. You just signing. It makes me feel so alive. And all the crowds, you look vibrant. The crowd is just vibing. The flow is like hydrant. I can't believe they still got me up here rapping. Next step, I need all y'all clapping. That just happened. Manifest it. Say it with your chest, kid.
Well, Love Jawns initially started out as a podcast. We wanted to create this mashup of poetry and music that was like the mixtapes that you could make, or at least the mixtapes I made in the 80s with my Panasonic boombox and a cassette tape. Sometimes like my mom's jazz cassette tapes that I just like, smooth jazz, by the way, smooth jazz cassette tapes that I put like the tape over and re-recorded. Creating that was a curatorial process for me that I didn't know I was doing when I was 10. It's just something I kind of returned to. Now it's a platform. It's not just a podcast, it's become a platform for a lot of different poets' voices in Philadelphia, because we definitely feature the vibrancy of this poetry scene. So this event is just an extension of that. Like if we could take Love Jawns out of the digital space and bring it into a real moment of communal experience, this might be something like that.
Tonight's event is the result of several joyful conversations with the Bearded Ladies that started earlier this year. On our last Zoom call with the featured artist last week, director Jarboe mentioned the concentric circles of care that the Beards would weave around all of us this evening. She described care as an energy field, and I dig that supremely, because care is another word for art in the work we do at Philadelphia Contemporary. And we're excited to extend these circles of care to include y'all tonight.
All human beings have 3 lives, public, private, and secret. And, you know, I think when we come to gatherings or events, we're pretty much aware of being in public and in the light of scrutiny and judgment, but also acknowledgement and being seen. And I feel that sometimes with performance and art, coming from the individual practitioner, there's a moment in which the privacy of the creative moment is revealed in public. It's a very sacred moment, I think, when it's really honest and authentic. Something of the artist's inner life is revealed in a way in which it may be held and cherished.
Well, there's really nothing more to add to that. But if you want to hear a little bit more from Yolanda, which I always do, you can check her out on her Love Jawns podcast. You can find that online. Just Google Love Jawns.
I'm just checking in on you. I'm just checking in on you. I'm just checking in on you. When I first walked up there to sound check, it was really emotional because we're not on stages anymore. As much as it feels natural, it feels surreal. And yeah, very emotional. You could almost just burst into tears from walking onto a stage. I'm about to rock a set? What is happening? I'm just checking in on you to see how you be doing. People be saying it's the end when really it's the beginning. Yeah. I'm just checking in on you to see how you be doing. People be saying it's the end when really it's the beginning. Yeah. Life is filled with stress and sin, but life is in the living.
So, like, can you talk about the poetry of DJ? Like, where's the poetry for you in DJing?
It's really just freedom of expression. So being able to pull from my own musical knowledge and be able to set a mood, be able to set a vibe, and accompany whoever else is on stage. And sometimes at the spur of the moment, sort of improv that I think poets do very well. And then sometimes scripted that I think poets do very well.
We need poems like lighthouses and hilltop fires showing the way.
You know, I think every event that I do, I'm trying to give people a sense of place and time that disrupts the day-to-day, your everyday routine, or your everyday meandering through life and its struggles. I want to create a moment that feels like it lives outside of our living, but is very much something we need, and it's almost like a world that exists around us that we just don't pay attention to.
In the name. In the name. In the name. Of the ancestor and the Creator Most High, I ask that you guide me on my path, 'cause listen. Welcome to Vernon Park, everyone. Yes, it comes fully equipped with my own backup singers that I don't even know.
Well, it was getting to evening and we had to pack up that truck. It takes about, 35 minutes to get that stage in. It all packs into the truck and a little U-Haul that follows the truck because we're drag queens. We pack a lot.
You know what, I guess I would ask the folks who are watching this right now, where is the poetry in your life? And if you don't know, ask somebody.